Hey everybody, hope you're well, and it's James here over the Part-Time Entrepreneur and Crypto Rookies. Now I haven't done a video for a little while. I've been just taking a week out, been watching a bit of Cobra Kai, really fucking cool series. If you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube Red, go check it out. But we're going to be talking to Quinlan today, the CEO of KRIOS, and he's going to be talking about some key bits of news that we need to know about. Also, why he's in LA and what's happening there. And also, the hot topic that's on everybody's lips is when are KRIOS going on exchanges? So stay tuned. Hope you're well, everybody. It's James here with the Part-Time Entrepreneur and Crypto Rookies, and today we have Quinlan, CEO of KRIOS, on the line today. He's got some really exciting news. So we're just going to start off and just ask, Chris, how you been? It's been about a month since we talked last. I know lots has happened, and how are you, mate?
Good. Tired. Things are good. Been really busy, so a lot of things going on, and we've had some changes and things that had to happen for volume's sake and exchanges. So it's a lot to deal with, and sometimes there's not enough hours in the day. But I mean, that's the project that we took on, and we knew that it was going to be like that at times. But the industry needs what it needs. So
I've been watching the new Cobra Kai. You've got my t-shirt. It's pretty cool. I don't know if you checked it out.
No, I haven't.
Ah, mate. If you do get time in terms of when you're flying back and forth and stuff, give it a go. I'm sure you remember the Karate Kid from back in the day. They got the new. Yeah. Johnny Lawrence, Cobra Kai, really cool. Yeah, but definitely have to check it out, man. It's awesome. So, at the moment, you're not in Australia, are you?
No. So, in downtown LA at the moment. Mm-hmm. Monday, it's Thursday at the moment. So, being here for a couple of days. Not entirely sure when I'm coming back. Obviously, would like to get back to sunny Australia as soon as I can, but there is a lot of value in being here. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, make the most of it while I'm over here and lock down as many meetings and keep going with what we're trying to achieve.
Cool. Well, I suppose short time in Gangster's Paradise is all right, isn't it? I remember watching all the Boys in the Hood films and stuff like that, man. Let's talk about some of the key things. So obviously, you got some news. You're in LA. Some pretty cool things going on. You've been very busy. There's been a bit of news recently, and been out in the groups. I don't think it's made too much of a fuss, but just really want to get your spin on it. What's happened, and what does it mean for KRIOS?
Yes, we received that press release that said, it got brought to my attention at 1 o'clock in the morning, so that night went without sleep, but we saw that apparently we'd been issued a cease and desist letter. I'd never seen it, so I was on the phone to our officers everywhere trying to find out where it had been sent, and we hadn't received it. Anyway, we tried contacting them, our legal team tried contacting them, we weren't getting anywhere, and then we saw actually John McAfee posted a tweet apologising to someone on that list for saying that they'd received a cease and desist because the list was inaccurate. They weren't cease and desist. At this point, we still hadn't even received it, so we finally got on and contacted them. Basically, all that happened was someone was trying to sell their tokens on Craigslist. They've got a blanket policy that any coin could be a security, so to be safe, no coins being marketed on Craigslist and things like that to their residents, which is fair enough. And obviously, we aren't going to market on Craigslist. We have a lot of a different view to marketing than putting ads on Craigslist. But someone did do that. They tried to sell their coins on Craigslist, and then so we got a letter saying, "Hey, was this you guys? If it is, no Craigslist, please." And that was all it was. So we had a lot of meetings that morning too before we found all this out. We were sort of in damage control, what's going on, we're unaware of this, how do we approach it. Obviously it can be unnerving for a lot of people, us sitting there as well, but then when we found it all out, it got blown so far out of proportion, someone tried to sell their coins on Craigslist.
And that's what it pretty much, I think that's the thing sometimes, is like you get these simple things, mountains out of molehills, and I think a lot of people buy into a lot of these things just because news at the moment seems to drive the markets. I mean, I look at technical analysis and these types of things, but normally just use that for buy entry points, because at the moment it's like the market is incredibly hard to read, and it's good that that news was absolutely tosh. And I know that you've got some exciting news which completely wipes that out of scope in a sense. So obviously you're in LA, you've got an exclusive for Crypto Rookies today, and I just want you to just talk about what that is and what does that mean for KRIOS.
Yeah, cool. So we get to announce our first partnership We've got a partnership with Mercury Media, really, really cool marketing company based in San Diego over here. We spent yesterday finalising all of those details with them. Basically, we've got a bit of a partnership where some of their marketing they're going to look after for us. They have a really, really great tech platform that can outranks any demographic, any platform where you can source demographics, and anyone that's used Facebook ad targeting knows those audiences can be good, but this platform, seeing it in action, that they've got later on an integration and things that's going to work great for users of our platform that really want to drill down specifically on their target audiences. These guys are some of the best marketers I've ever met too, so they're going to buddy up with us in that sense, and we'll work hand in hand with that. And also their access to influencers, things like that. They're going to, once the platform's launched, getting influencers on there, these are the right people to be bringing talent to the platform, which is going to make that a lot better for businesses straight off the bat.
And what's their sort of, in terms of the influencers that they can bring, what's their sort of reach? How many do they have?
Access to over 10,000,
wow.
Which is pretty big, obviously, for businesses trying to do that. So that's one of the things that we're looking forward to. Yeah, I'm ecstatic. I think announcing a partnership for the sake of announcing a partnership doesn't add any value. If you're on an exchange, it might cause a short-term little bit of volume, but that's not what we're trying to achieve. We're not trying to achieve partnerships for the sake of that, and I would much rather work on something like this that may take 2 or 3 months that really is going to drive that long-term value to the platform, which is ultimately what this is all about. The usability, the features, and the amount of users and the experience for them.
Yeah, because obviously, if we go back and we look at the white paper, there's at some point people will be able to buy the token for $5, and for that to happen, there has to be these like long-term partnerships that you're going after that create that long-term value, rather than, like you say, these short-term things where, it's good for if you're a day trader, it's brilliant, but if you're a long-term investor, it doesn't really mean anything in that sense. But these long-term partnerships really, really seem to be the solid foundation. And I think one of the things that you guys, you're at a point now where you have a product. I know the apps are coming out soon, so I don't know if you want to quickly talk about potentially when people may see these final release of the apps potentially.
You're pushing me for all the good news. So we got off the phone to the developers yesterday, and we're pretty much pulling go on the trigger on that. So we're a couple of days off Android. It just depends how long Google Play Store take to put us up on there. iOS will probably be a week to 2. They can be a little bit more challenging, but yeah, obviously it was all done when we did the demo. We wanted to get some of our community members testing it. Got some good feedback, so a lot. Yeah, we did want to wait until after the exchanges, but we've been constantly inundated. Hey, we want to try and get all of our distributions finalized as well, so people that don't have wallets and haven't supplied them to us, at the moment we're still holding their coins. So what we want to do is have them download the app and we can send them straight there, so they've got their wallet set up then, and they don't have to that can't be used as an excuse to, oh no guys, just hold my coins for me for a little bit. So it'll be streamlines everything. App plugs into the platform and is an integral part of it. We know that the main features are the wallet features, but that's the core of the coin, which is at the center of the platform transacting. So we've had people say, oh, wallet's this, and this wallet's taken us along. The security of the wallet's obviously paramount. The amount of wallet users is going to be. So it's been created from scratch by us. There's plenty of code out there that we can use, but we've made sure that it's completely unique to what we do. And there's probably going to be a bug or two that people pick up. Tried pretty hard to break it, and it hasn't yet. So yeah, things are good, and I'm really happy.
I know some of our group were part of that sort of process and helping out, which is pretty cool, and I think that's quite nice for them to not only just from investing from the start, but having a little exclusive play on the product as well, give some feedback and stuff, because I know they're quite honest with their feedback as well, which is great. That's what you need. But again, it's fantastic to see, because you see so many ICOs out there with ideas, and people are still waiting for products, and you guys have really sort of, from what I can see, is that the partnerships are starting to come, but the right partnerships, and also the product's pretty much there, near enough, or the wallet and bits and pieces. But in terms of the wallets, obviously we've talked before about getting exchanges and all these types of things, and you were up to like 5,000 plus wallets. With the new sort of app that's coming out and stuff, how many more wallets do you think you'll get into in terms of what you're holding currently?
If we were to distribute everywhere, we'd have over 10, closer to 11,000.
Wow.
So we're probably at about 50% of wallets. So that was our target, was 10,000. We've done that. I think we're close to 11,000. I don't have the exact numbers. It's going out in the monthly report. It'll be there. Obviously, I look at a lot of spreadsheets, but I know it's between 10 and 11,000 if everyone wants to hold their own coins, which is really cool and exciting.
God, that's a lot of wallets, really. And I suppose in terms...
It's a lot.
Yeah, that a hell of a lot. I know, obviously, mine come through. I use my own wallet for now, but obviously I'm quite excited about this because this was when I first seen this project. I did a lot of network marketing stuff before, and it was just like, it just played into... there's a lot of people that get into those arenas, or they want to drive these little home businesses because that's like the new trend. And actually now they can use this platform, which is dead simple, especially if they've invested early, because obviously the value of the token will just go up from this point. And then they can invest into their own sort of businesses through all the things that you offer. And that's the thing, it's like the beauty of what you're doing at the moment. I was going to say, is there any particular industries that you're focusing in on or targeting?
I think there's going to be two sort of groups we see. That small home-sized business, like you said, and I think that's going to be immensely valuable when starting up a business. Obviously, those bigger departments, rather than outsourcing their marketing overseas or to another firm, they can still outsource it, the benefits of outsourcing, but still have complete control of that. So I think we're going to have a lot of big businesses, and then that small startup size as well. In between, you're obviously going to have your medium-sized enterprises and things as well. But I think they're the two key demographics. It prevents ad fraud. It shows that all of where your spend's going, and make sure that it's efficient, effective. You're getting the best results. Your pay per click, things like that. So we were talking about this yesterday, actually, and we we're saying the problem with the industry is if you own a restaurant and you want to do this, you go to Fiverr. You basically become the marketing manager, because you've got to go get your content created. You've got to get someone who's an expert in ads. You're essentially the head of marketing then, which is great. But at the end of the day, you're a restaurant owner. You're not a marketing expert. With our platform, because it brings the team together and they work autonomously without having to put it in, you can focus on being a restaurant owner and have the experts take care of it without having to. You can still have that complete overview and oversight and say, hey, no, I don't like that. But you also don't have to direct the whole marketing campaign. Best of both worlds.
Yeah, and I think that definitely, if we look at some of the trends that are happening now, so many companies. I work for a huge company. I think they're about 52 billion or something last time I looked. So they're quite big. And the constant thing is how do you grow your bottom and your top line? And sometimes it comes down to cutting overheads like people, or trying to create more efficiencies through factory and robotics and lots of different things. And this feels like it's one of those elements where, not outsourcing, but people can make significant cost savings. And especially if they've been an early investor, or it maybe even invest now, that in time to come, that this would be a huge investment in terms of what their business will be able to drive in terms of the token price now versus what it potentially could be, and actually that additional value that they will be able to use on your platform going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a good segue for where the value should be for people. Simple. The size of the market that we intend to tackle, obviously it's going to be a huge job, and we're working hard to achieve those goals. We set targets that seemed pretty audacious, but it's what we want to do. We're here to disrupt the industry and fix the industry and all of the things. Her story the other day, someone was telling me that she's a model. She was waiting nearly 6 months to get paid. She was owed $15,000 from an agency. With blockchain, that doesn't happen. Work gets completed. It's guaranteed. Money gets paid. There is no more agencies taking advantage of people, or agencies not getting paid by companies. It's safe, secure, trustless. It's where all of society is headed, but specifically with this industry, especially being such a big growing industry, it's such a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's an old cash flow trick. I know a lot of companies, big companies that I work for, and they do what they call a 30-90. So you have to pay them in 30 days, but they only pay you in 90. And therefore they get 60 days worth of cash flow to fluff the numbers or the books or whatever, or, you know, to make their bottom lines look a lot better and stuff. So yeah, I mean, for them it's a bit of a hit, but I think at the end of the day, this is where the market's going. There's no stopping this once it's, you know, those early adopters, and I think people will watch this video in like 3, 4, 5 years time and go, wow, you know, I can't believe that this is how it is now, and like things like what we have, cash and stuff, it would just be gone in 5 years. I think I just can't see it because of all the efficiencies, everything that everyone wants to do. It fixes all those problems, which is pretty cool. Now, one of the big things that I'm hearing constantly is, you know, when is KRIOS going on exchanges? There's been a information that's gone out, and obviously now I've got you online. Are you able to give us a sense of potentially when we might see some of the first exchange listings?
So the date we said is imminent. We've said mid-May. We did have delays. Obviously, I was given a hard date that's passed. So that's what I mean by imminent. We've got the marketing ready to go out, the graphics done, everything. So that's how close we are. We've been given the final confirmation. We haven't been given authority to announce. It's frustrating because it puts us in between a rock and a hard place, but I understand why exchanges like that. Obviously, there was that big fiasco with market manipulation with Bitcoin Cash, and everyone wants to avoid that. The industry's trying to regulate itself, and I understand that. But the word we're using is imminent. The time frame, and I'm confident on it. The hard date I was given has passed, so the marketing's there, ready to go. We'll announce probably with at least 48 hours before it happens, but yeah. Things are completely fine with that. We haven't had anyone pull out or anything. Yeah, we've got 2 straight up 8 weeks that obviously we want to keep promoting that volume. The value, long-term value, comes to the coin with the platform, so we need to focus on that. Also do want to keep that market and volume happening and trading.
It sounds like, you know, all the elements, you know, regardless, you know, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you're in X ICO or Y ICO, there's always going to be challenges, and like you guys have been really good in terms of just facing into them, say, look, you know, we were given a hard day, it's not happened, bear with us. And I think as well the community's been really good recently. I think back a month or 6 weeks ago it all kicked off a little bit, but I think it's all pretty much settled down. I think people are realizing that, you know, what you guys are doing isn't like dead simple and really easy to do. It's incredibly challenging. It's you're laying the road, if in a sense you're having to build the road so people can drive on it. And generally, if we look at other things around us, the road's already there, and you just get on it and you drive, and it's easy. I think people are starting to understand how difficult what you're trying to do it with no sleep, flying to different countries, jumping onto interviews like this, and all the rest of it. I mean, it seems pretty full on. So you know, credit to you guys in terms of where you're at and stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's something that we try to let everyone know is, you know, we've got it's not the full platform, but the wallet app's out there. We've demoed it. It's good. Our communication stuff was a bit, you know, we'd have 3 updates in a week and then not one for 3 weeks. So we've tried to space that out so that people know when to expect that. That's something that some feedback that we've gotten, made sure people know when to expect what. But it's a huge job, and the fact in the time frame we've been given, like I said, we set big goals because we're not looking to be average or normal. We're trying to disrupt a huge. So we've all got to work as hard as we have been. There's going to be regulation changes and things like that where we are going to have to pivot and change. And I think that we're able to approach really well is that we're a team that can adapt really quickly and make the best of any situation. Yeah, where we're at, given the time frame, I'm still really confident in everything that we're doing, and I'm really enjoying the journey. Not so much the sleepless nights.
Awesome. No, I think that's no credit to you guys. It's really good, and again these regular catch-ups and chats just to, you know, let people know and the community know what's going on is brilliant. So it's a fantastic partnership with Mercury Media. I think the guy you said was Elijah. Is there any chance we could talk to Elijah today?
Yeah, cool. So we'll get Elijah on. We can ask him some questions and have him tell you a little bit more about Mercury Media and how that's all going to work. And moving forward, the great value that we're going to get from this partnership.
Awesome. Let's give them a call. So, hey Elijah, thanks for coming on the call with Chris and myself today. Obviously, I know you guys have you've got this new partnership with KRIOS, which is really exciting. It's the first one. I know that the community is going to be buzzing in terms of what this means. But first of all, I just want to get to know yourself, and if you can just tell the community a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your background.
So right now, what I do specifically is I work with Mercury Media. I'm the owner and founder. And a little bit about my background, why Mercury started is we saw a huge issue with social media as a whole and digital marketing. And what we saw was that we need to be able to enhance this situation and say, let's use it for an actual practical reasoning and move it from that point. The background of my life, the reason I did this was because I saw a huge market problem. And from that, we went out and we developed our own proprietary systems to grow social media and online digital marketing as a whole collectively in a new, completely different way.
So how long have you been in sort of like the media marketing space, and how long has Mercury Media been running?
So Mercury's been around for about 2 years now, and myself, I have been directly working with different agencies and doing my own consulting work with a variety of companies for about 3.5 or almost 4 years.
And the space is moving so fast as well. There's so many changes in how we actually advertise to people. I think the days of, you know, like the perfume adverts and stuff, you see Beyonce using it. No one really buys it because Beyonce uses it. I think the whole media marketing space is, social media has just changed it all.
Absolutely. Every single day we see something new. It's completely evolving and changing as we progress, and I think it's going in the right direction. I just hope it doesn't become saturated.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think with most things is the innovation of the marketing, the media, and it's really cool. I know speaking to Chris earlier saying about the long-term picture. So let's get to know you just a little bit better. So if you'd go out to a restaurant, what restaurant would you go to and what would you order?
I would probably go to Regions Pizza here in San Diego. They're one of our clients, and they are outstanding. I love pizza, and they are probably the best ever.
I'm going to have to come down to San Diego to have some of that pizza, I think.
Oh, absolutely. It's so, I mean, these guys, they do an outstanding job. When people say that Californians can't make pizza, anything coming from the East Coast, they're completely wrong. You have to come to Regions.
They do a stuffed crust. I like a stuffed crust.
They don't do stuffed crust, but they do very different situations.
I'll come anyway. It's all right.
Can we?
I love pizza.
Really
So in terms of like when you're not grafting away, looking at media and all the different bits and pieces, what do you like to do outside of work?
I love to go to the gym. That's something I have to do at least 4 or 5 times a week just to stay sane because I work so much. But I would say that hanging out with friends, family, my girlfriend, traveling, really as a whole, like to kind of get out and explore as much as I can, not wear life away. I think that's a really important thing.
And what's the coolest place you've been to?
I would say Turks and Caicos. It's a small Caribbean island. It was by far one of the most beautiful places I've been. My whole family, we scuba dive, so we dove, I would say, twice a day, and it was great.
Awesome. I like to do a bit of scuba diving myself. I trained in, was it Cuba, which was quite cool. You know, see some sharks and stuff. Yeah, absolutely love it. It's different. It's another world, isn't it, really? It's beautiful. So,
it really is.
Yeah. So, obviously, how did you get in contact with Chris or Chris contact you? How did this partnership come about?
So, Chris and I met through mutual connections. And when we met, we saw complete synergy between the two companies, that KRIOS is coming out with something unbelievable. The platform as a whole is really in my space. Being that my company is focused on new, improved digital marketing as a whole, partnership to full. That being said, Mercury will be joining KRIOS on their platform directly, using it to the fullest extent we can for our outside contractors, potential client needs, and on top of that, we'll be using it directly. After we kind of established that relationship, we saw that Mercury could come in and work with KRIOS as well and bring their marketing to the best it could be. They've been doing an amazing job as it is, and we thought we could help as a whole.
Cool. And sort of like, how do you see then the next 1 year, 3 years, 5 years rolling out?
Well, with KRIOS directly, I see it being a huge success. I think Mercury can really be the partner that KRIOS will love to be with. And what I see is that this platform being the new way of marketing as a whole, I see that it's extremely effective and at the same time very convenient for everybody to use. I also see that the need is there because there are market issues that I believe KRIOS is solving right now.
And in terms of sort of like the market issues, obviously you're in a fantastic place to see some of those key things. What are the biggest challenges that are out there at the moment?
I think finding good qualified individuals is the hardest. That's why I love the platform as it is, because it allows for them to come to you and you to find them. I also feel that there's a big a confusion standpoint on legitimacy behind marketing and having the filter system that they're going to have and having the experienced individuals that they're going after right now. I feel that that'll really fix those errors directly.
In terms of how do you see, because obviously we were talking about, you saying that like social media is changing like pretty much every day, you're seeing something new. How can you guys work together to sort of like capture that and really sort of make sure that, you know, when people come to the platform, they have the newest or the best or, you know, marketing strategy or elements to go after?
Well, like that we can really come up with a nice informational section for these users of the platform. It'll show them baseline information that we can provide. On top of that, Mercury will be directly creating a blog for the partnership with KRIOS to help with that education sector, and that'll be directly on the Mercury website.
So obviously you've got this fantastic partnership with KRIOS, which is really, really cool. But obviously at Mercury Media, all obviously other things that you're doing with KRIOS is great, but actually you do a whole lot more. So what other things do you do at Mercury Media?
The focus of Mercury directly is to build social media marketing, enhance all platforms, and we do it with our software directly. The software is completely proprietary. We own it. The measurement that social media needs to grow is the platform, is the basis of this platform. So really Mercury, what it comes in and does is allows for social media management and growth and overall integrated marketing solutions. And on top of that, we do this with our outstanding team here. We're based in California, and we have clients all over the world at this point.
So is it exclusive to big businesses? Who can use Mercury Media?
Absolutely not. Everybody that comes across Mercury Media has seen value in it, and we have pricing solutions for every client that would like to use us.
Awesome.
We have brands that are small mom and pop shops that are worth a couple, just a good amount, and then we have other brands that are worth a couple $1 billion. So wow. We've really focused on everybody and like to be as focused and driven as we can be for our clients.
Awesome. It sounds like you've got a solution for everything. Brilliant. Well, I do really appreciate you coming on the call, Elijah. I know that you guys are incredibly busy, but yeah, really appreciate you coming on and just talking about the new partnership with KRIOS.
Absolutely. Thank you, James. We appreciate it.
Thank you, mate.
All right. Bye-bye, guys.
I just want to thank you for your time today, Chris. I know you're in LA. I know you've been up all hours and doing all sorts of stuff, but I mean, the fantastic news of the partnership is great, and it's great to hear that, you know, there's so much news that's really imminent, and I just look forward to all of that being released. As always, guys, thank you for tuning in. Please like, comment and share. You can follow me on social media or join one of my 2 Facebook groups where you can find out how you can get great discounts on ICOs, but also how you can be involved with our monthly $5,000 crypto giveaway.